issues that affect our families when we are talking about life and faith in the family. So, how is your family when it comes to father? First of all, in the morning when it comes to going to church, who tells who where to go, and how do you decide who is going where? Um, and I know of a friend, when she decided to become a Christian, her family disowned her, and so she was thrown out of the family, and fought. From that time, she never was able to come back to her family, which I find is very controversial, because my opinion is that when you believe is such a personal thing that no one has to decide that thing for you. How do you do it in your family? How do you go about it for your children? If your child comes and tells you, maybe you're Anglican, and he comes and tells you, no, from now on, mom, I have decided that Methodist is my church, or I have decided to become Baptist, or whatever. How do you deal with it? How personal do you do it? How do you even deal with such a situation? Are you letting the person decide? And from which age are we allowing our children to decide for themselves what to believe? Or maybe some children even know quite early if they don't want to believe in anything, or if they want to believe what the granny believes in, like pouring libation to the ancestors and all that before they drink or before they eat. How do you deal with it? Because I think there's a lot of stress in the families because of this. We have stress about what to believe. Is it my job as a man to decide what my wife will believe? Because in some families, people believe that the man is the head of the family, so he has the right to decide everything. There I have a bit of problems with that, because even if you're head of the family, faith issues is a very personal issue. I mean, it's something that the wife has to decide on his own, just like you, the man. You have the freedom to decide for yourself. So I don't think, I mean, you can say your opinion, but I don't think it is right for the man to command the woman, or to decide for the woman what she has to believe. I think the woman, even if she's your wife, even if you're the head of the family, and she's given you that honor of being the boss in the family, being the guide of the family, I don't think that anyone has a right to decide for anybody what they believe and what they don't believe. It's such a personal thing, because believing, you have an encounter, you decide how you communicate with some powers out there, whatever you believe in. I don't know, everyone has his own belief, who is up there or out there in the universe, who they communicate with. So it's such an integral thing, it's such an intimate thing, a very personal thing. How will you know how I want to communicate with the gods or whoever is out there? I mean, how it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense for someone to decide for you something that is so personal, something that is so intimate, something that is so deep, because it's about prayer, it's about my quiet time, it's about my meditational time, it's about how I recollect, how I deal with my shortcomings if I have done something wrong. My opinion, if I have done something wrong, if I feel maybe I need to pray more or whatever, they should be very personal. And I think it's a bit too exaggerated when some people decide for the wife, and then they decide, now we have to decide even for the children, and they're not allowed to go to the Presbyterian if I am going to the Methodist, and so on and so on. I think it's a very personal thing. And for family, if there isn't a harmony in that, if there isn't a union in the decision about faith matters, there can be a lot of chaos. Because I have had really a lot of horror stories in families because of that. I have heard of ladies being chased from their families because in their family you don't get pregnant before marriage, because in the church it will be a shame, because with the youth group it will be a shame, in the Bible study, blah blah, it will be a shame. And so they kick this girl out of the family, or they even force the girl to terminate the pregnancy. So that they can keep the name of the family holy enough. And then I'm always like, I mean, the deed is there. Is it more worse to accept somebody and carry the shame, or is it more worse to become a murderer, or to kill unborn life so that you can keep your name? What is more important? We have to consider that. And secondly, if maybe it's a mistake that happened and this girl became pregnant, won't you think it is more is more loving, more kind, more religious, to show that person understanding and acceptance and accommodate that person and the unborn person also in the family. I mean, some of us are so generous going out there giving presents and saving the poor and so on. And when it comes to our families, we exercise faith in a different way. So it's also a bit, how do you call it? Hypocritical, I would call it, if you are so strict on some issues because of your religion and you forget the most essential thing. Because being a Christian, I'm not saying everybody has to become a Christian now. Jesus said, people will know that you are my disciples because of the love you show each other. So, and that means in every aspect. Now, if I'm a Christian father, if I'm a Christian mother, and I'm not dealing with love with my children, with my neighbors, with everybody, so how can I even expect my children to like my religion, to like the way I believe, to like my faith, if I'm not practicing what I am telling them to practice? You know, so faith and family is not as simple and as flowing as we think sometimes. Sometimes it's deeper than that. It's more taxing. It costs just more than going to church or going to a certain church. Um, I have seen a lot of Christian families or religious families, let me call them just religious family, having stress about where to go to church, how do you dress yourself as a believer, what do you eat as a believer, and which people do you communicate with, how many friends do you have, what type of friends you have. There is so much of these not so important issues sometimes, that they forget that the religion or the faith has first of all to have that harmony in the family. If there isn't that family harmony in the family, forget it about religion, because then it's useless to talk about religion. Religion should help you to recollect yourself and have a good harmonious religion or relationship with your creator, however you call him, you know. And so if it's not functioning at home, what right do I have to go and tell people out there, you have to follow this, you have to go to my church, you have to follow my religion, blah blah, you know? Faith and family is deeper than just which church you go to, which words you talk, and so on and so on. I thought it's only in Africa, but even in diaspora, I've heard of churches that are doing this also: Friday Kesha, Saturday Kesha, Sunday, no, Kesha Sunday not, but some people will even do that, or this constant and instant fasting and here and there. I think it's something that each one has to decide for himself. I don't think it's something that you have to force the family members to do it just because you are the head of the family. I think it's very, very important to watch also and understand, what type of family am I having? Is my wife comfortable with what I'm putting on her or what I'm telling her to do? Is she comfortable with going to the church Friday until Sunday? I mean, like, some people need the weekend to relax. Maybe if the wife is working, maybe the children have school and everything, they need some time to relax at home. But I mean, even if you want to be extra religious, then do it for yourself, but don't put it on your family when maybe they're not even comfortable with it. I think there's a lot of sensitivity that is needed there. People, let us not exaggerate. I know we Africans, we love being, Christian, being religious, being holier than the others, so we can always point fingers. This one, their children, they're not living Christian life. His wife, I saw her with a very, very short skirt in church the other day, and I saw her daughter standing with a young man on the street the other day, we my friends, it is not about that. Yeah, faith and family is deeper than that. And I hope we reflect, and I hope we realize that it's deeper than how short the skirt is deeper than what type of hairstyle you carry, is deeper than having the hair, like things like this would be seen for some people, excuse if you find it, earrings, how big they are or how small they are, if they're gold or silver, or if ornaments at all. How is your family faring concerning your faith, or the faith how you've decided to live your faith? Remember, I think we should always remember, it is a personal decision. And meaning a personal decision. I don't mind how Christian someone is. It's your decision. If you want to spend 7 days in the church 24/7, go spend the time there. But don't push it on your wife. Don't push it on your children, because even if you are the head of the family, you are concerned, you are even responsible for their well-being. So, and if your faith is not helping their well-being, if your faith is only bringing chaos and discord in your family, think twice. Really, ask yourself, what type of faith am I practicing in my family? Is my faith practical for my family? Is my faith really a blessing to my family? Is my faith making my wife grow and glow? Or is it that faith that when your wife sees you, she's going like under the table because she's so scared of you and she doesn't even want to be near you? I mean, what type of faith is that? Where is the love, my friends? If Jesus said, through love, they will know that you're my disciples, then practice it at home first. Don't go preaching it out there before you practice it at your own home. If it's about love, practice it at home. If it is about faith and patience, practice it at home. Because let me tell you, even if you're evangelist or prophet or whoever, if at home it backfires, my friend, there will be no blessing on your ministry. This is just how it is. It's a fact. I think Paul wrote about it. I'm not going to preach today. There must be a preacher coming later today on Kingdom Talk Show. But forgive me. I get so touched by this, because I think sometimes in church, as believers, we forget the basics. When it comes to faith, we are so on fire. We want to show the world how holy we are. We forget that faith has to be lived first, or lived. You have to live it first in your family, in your immediate environment. You have to practice it in your immediate environment, neighborhood. My friends, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just carrying the biggest Bible ever seen to go to church every Sunday, so people say, oh, that man is a believer, that woman is very holy. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than what people say. It's deeper than that. First, let us try in our families. Faith and family means I integrate my faith, and in a loving way, in my family. Is my wife. I just wanted to say, my wives. You're not allowed to have, unless if you're Muslim, you can have up to 4 wives. These guys live in paradise. You're already on this. No, I forget. The Muslims, when they live a good life, they will get 7 wives in heaven. Did you know that? Yes, even. What happens to their wives on earth because they were not virgins anymore? This is craziness. Anyway, let's not go deeper. Anyway, are they comfortable? Are your wives happy? Is your wife glowing? Yeah? Is she growing? And when I'm talking of growing, I don't mean in size. I mean, I grew and I got married, I think I was eating too much. It has nothing to do with faith, but is she growing in many aspects? Financially, in education? Is she expanding in her territory as a mother, as a woman, is she getting respect because of how you're practicing your faith in the family? Is your wife a beneficiary of your faith? Or is she a loser because of your faith? She doesn't see you. You disappear on Friday, you come back on Sunday because you're so holy. You have to go to this kesha, you have to go to this preaching, you have to go to this. Your children even rarely see you because you're going to pray for sister so-and-so, you're going to pray for your brother so-and-so. Family has to experience that faith at home. Don't go praying for somebody out there if you have not prayed for your wife who is having some struggles here and there. If your children maybe are suffering with school, you go counseling other people out there, and your children maybe they're suffering at home. We've had so many cases of pastors' children going through hardships. They lack someone to counsel them. They are afraid of coming to their own parents to talk about their issues because they don't feel accommodated. They don't feel you have time because 24/7, 7 days a week, you're in the neighborhood saving the sheep. And your own one sheep at home is suffering. And I'm not talking only about the evangelists and the prophets and the pastors, but us as Christians, it's just about faith. Are we practicing it at home? If we want to counsel people out there, Are we doing it at home? Are we counseling at home? Are we living as an example at home? Are we guiding at home? Are we being kind and patient at home? Some of us, we can be so kind and very loving out there, but experience us back home. Only the family knows who you are. Out there, you are the angel, you can even be, I don't know who, but at home, they know who you are. They know who we are there, because we cannot always put on the mask. We cannot always show the best side of us, because it's the natural environment for us. But is that environment also natural for your children, for your wife, for those people who know you? Can they say, oh yeah, that man is a man of faith, because they see your faith and family is working, is going in line, it's aligned? It's not easy. I know it's not easy. It is a challenge. Yeah. For those who know me, they know I studied also to be a pastor, even though I'm not working as a pastor and I'm not an evangelist, nor am I a prophetess. But these things excite me. The spiritual things, the faith issues, they excite me. But I'm always learning. I'm learning every day. And I think as believers, whatever faith you're holding on to, and I'm not saying just one type of faith is necessary, you have to decide for yourself. It's a very personal thing. That's what I hold on to. If I'm not propagating and saying you have to be this in this religion or that religion, that's one is your personal decision. But if we live faith, then live it so that it's in harmony. It's bringing harmony in our families. Let us live it in a way that it's bringing a blessing to our family. Before even we go to lay hands on others to bless them, let us bless our family. Let us be the king in our family, or the queen in our family, the princes and the princesses in our family, before we go out there to shine. Let us shine at home. Let us do it at home. Let us live that faith at home. Faith and family is not easy. Charity, you're saying faith without works is dead, and you are dead right. You're so right. Yes, I agree. It is in the actions of sharing, caring, being there for your community. Faith, a very sensitive subject. Yes, I agree with you. It is a very sensitive subject, because sometimes we ignore it. We assume. I think it's the assumption fact. We assume when someone is going to church, everything is picobello, everything is okay, but it's not like that. Ann Petler, you're greeting us from Austria. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, and you're saying hello. I'm saying hello. Yes, and you're saying, yes, I agree to that. Faith without works is a no-go. And I'm not saying only about Christians. No. I'm saying about every faith, because actually, faith, we are trying to please a deity out there. We are trying to show the world we are better persons. I mean, this is a bit exaggerated if you look at it from a philosophical point of view, but we are trying to have a better understanding of the humankind, a better understanding of life in itself, and a better way of living with other people. And where is this the best place to practice that? At home. Faith and family is completely compatible if we practice it at home. Faith and family is something, actually, is the best environment to practice, because these people love you. These people will almost always forgive you. I mean, sometimes we exaggerate, but these people in our family, they're so loving and kind. If they can stand some of the bullshit we do, they're the best environment for us to practice our faith. So if we don't practice it there, we don't need to go out there and practice. And Charity Wairimu, you're saying, one question, why do we in Africa make faith a very loud matter? Now, who can tell me that? Do you have an answer? Yeah, why do we make it such a loud thing? I do not know. You're saying, what is it with us, faith and fashion and busyboyness? Busyboyness? Okay. I do not know. One thing is, I think we are more religious than the rest in the planet Earth. I think. Africans, I do not know. Some people say it's because we were the first humans on the planet Earth. I cannot prove that. People, don't stone me. I have no proof of that. Some people have tried to prove it, that Africa is the cradle of mankind. If that is it, I am proud to be an African, And even if it's not, I'm still proud to be an African. The other thing is we are really we are open to religion more than other races, I think. I mean, because it shows us, if you go to our churches, my goodness, all of us are there clapping, singing, and we love singing and dancing. And in the church, there you can sing and dance like every Sunday. I mean, where else? In the churches in diaspora, you all know how it is, unless it's an African church, huh? But you know, Africans, we are just loud about it. It's just about our nature. We are more feeling people. We feel, we live and act with feelings, and I don't know. Yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why we are so religious, and we look for solutions not in ourselves. We always, if you look in most of the African explanation of life, of culture, of everything, a deity is always involved. A creator deity, someone who is a provider, who made them human beings, and so that's why we always look for our answers in that person, wherever he is, you know. So and for Africans, you'll find them everywhere. God is actually expressed in our cultures in many different ways. So I think that is the reason why. Now, why we are always busyboyness and fashion and faith. Oh my goodness. Actually, if you look at the African culture, most of the African cultures, even in issues of worship and whatever, we did it mostly half naked. Let's just be honest. This issue of long skirt, short skirt, whatever, this came with the missionaries. This is something that came from the missionaries, because they were used in their cultures to wear these long skirts. If you look about their history, that the women had covered themselves completely, even more than the Muslims, generally, if you look back. So, and they came to our community and found, oh my goodness, naked Africans everywhere, climbing trees, down the trees, whatever, swimming. If you look in some of our communities, it's still like that today, but very few. We have become all westernized, and that's why even in the church they showed us, if you want to be a good believer, you have to cover most of your bodies. You cannot continue being the way you are as Africans to become good believers. I think that's where the issue of fashion, what to wear and what not to wear, came in. If you look at our African cultures, earrings, ornaments, it was part of us. Body painting. You think the tattoo history is from, I don't know, wherever. It originated from the African culture. If you look, even some of, like the Himba people, I think they are in Sudan, no, not in Sudan, Ethiopia, they are still painting their bodies and doing all this body, it's part of our African culture. So that sometimes we make a devil out of it. It fails to get into my brain. it really doesn't get into my brain, and I wonder why. So you're saying busybodiness, as that was you wanted to say. The gossip. No, that one is another one. We will talk about that. Yeah, faith and family. Oh my goodness, especially that of busybodiness, this gossiping. I don't know what to say. I know it's a very big issue. Gossip, even in the church. Oh my goodness. The wives of the pastor did this, the daughters did this, whatever, and then the whole church is in chaos because of the busybodiness. You're so right. I think we need to learn that. Oh my goodness. It's not just about the Christians. I think everywhere we are terrible, especially with, although there are some men who also gossip. I'm not saying men don't gossip. Men also gossip, but women, we are experts. I do not know. And there is a part in the Bible that talks about the tongue being a very dangerous part of the body, actually the most dangerous, because it has destabilized kingdoms, it has destroyed families, it has made people kill each other. Just the tongue, it's crazy. But then we need to learn that, faith and family. How will our daughters learn to keep their families or keep their tongue a bit controlled if the mothers are not doing it? Faith and family. If we are living as examples, actually our daughters and sons are learning, not just because of their hearing what we are saying, but they're watching. They're watching. If I have my girlfriends at home, what am I doing? Are we talking about growing each other? Are we talking about building each other? Or are we talking about others in the community? Or are we talking about, this one did this one did that? Are we building each other? So our children will learn from how we do it at home. You're so right. Busybodiness, oh goodness. Let us learn. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or non-Christian or whoever, we have a problem. We have to learn that. Faith and family includes also taming our tongues, this dangerous part of our body. I'm not preaching anymore. If you want to learn, there's also a very big lesson in the Bible about that. And I think in Quran also, if you look deeply, you'll find it. Trying to prove a point to those outside, but inside one is full of confusion. Yeah, this is busybodiness. Yeah, trying to, control everybody with our tongue, but in our own lives, we are living a crazy, crazy life. Faith and family, and also delegated quietness to get directions from the Most High. So, anyway, there's a lot of deep depth. I think this is a topic we can take even 2 hours to talk about. There's a lot of confusion if we don't live. And I'm talking live, L-I-V-E. To live means you're experiencing this on a daily basis. To be important, we have to live it. We have to live it. Even if you may be a Jah believer, a Rastafarian, whatever, and then you're seeing different colors, one people, you're seeing on a daily basis, and then you're talking in a racist way, it doesn't matter which race you belong to, your message will be diluted. It will be so diluted, you don't need even to sing that song, because it doesn't make any sense for whoever hear you sing this. We have to live our faith. If it has to be compatible, it has to be compatible. It's not just about the timetable you put for your children, how often they have to pray, and if they have to fast, and how long they have to fast, and if they have to, they are not allowed to eat pork or not. You have to show them that it's worth to believe where you believe. If you cannot show them, forget it. Don't even say it. Don't even encourage them. Faith and family has to be synchron. It has to be a synchronized thing, and not by force. I like this part that says, it's not by force, it's not by power, but the might of God. I mean, by the Spirit of God. That means spirit is not something tangible. It's something that it's not material. It has something to do with your being, your inner being, your personal being, your inner you. If your inner you is not in rhyme with your faith, forget it. Don't even talk about it. I don't want to preach today. I'm trying not to preach because I get carried away with these topics sometimes. But I think sometimes we waste so much them then. And if I have no answer, then I have to accept it that I am defeated. I did it wrong. Or maybe I meant it this way that time, but now I changed my mind. It is always important to be open and talk with them. Tell them your reasons. Why did you? Because sometimes, especially as African parents, even in diaspora, we don't like to be challenged by our children. No. Oh my goodness, I know it's such a big thing. It's such a big thing. Charity, I think you will confirm that sometimes it's hard, because our community, we learned, you are the ruler of the home, you are the half the say. And so when the children come and challenge us, we don't want to deal with that. You feel like they have taken away your crown as the parent. But it's not that. He's looking for answers, or she is looking for the answers, because she watched something different from what you're saying, or maybe what you're doing. And they're trying to make a rhyme out of it. Now, what is what? Don't be surprised if they're completely confused and they live a chaotic or chaotic spiritual life. So let us be intentional in that, especially communicating. Oh my goodness, it's so difficult. Parents. Diaspora African parents, like sometimes you're like, a child is just asking a simple thing and we come with our machine guns. We shoot them down even before they finish their sentence. Like, who are you asking this question? Where did you hear such rubbish? Do you think that child will have the courage to come again after the Kalashnikov, whatever, It is so important, especially faith matters, my friends. Faith issues, they need to have that freedom at home to talk about it, question it, talk about it, how they think. We have a lot of discussions about religion, because I myself, I like religion, I like faith issues, and I think, but I like also to be open, and I hope my children have understood that they can talk with me about everything on a spiritual level, and then we discuss. Sometimes we don't have answers. Sometimes I don't have answers, even if I'm many years older and I've been many years in my faith. Sometimes I just don't have answers. I mean, I believe in a lot what is in the Bible, but I don't have answers to some things in the Bible. And maybe some parents will say the same about Quran, what they have learned in the Quran, and sometimes they cannot explain some things. Yeah, sometimes you wish your prophet is there, right there with you at the table, and the children are asking these questions to explain it, and he's not there. And you have to tell the children, sorry, right now I don't have the answers. Let's go look for answers, both of us. You know, it's so important also to say, I don't know the answers. Faith and family has to be lived. Charity, you're saying children until they mature are our best self-inquiry guides, because they are mostly innocent and curious, and you're so right there. They are innocent and curious. Yeah, they want to know. And sometimes we don't let them. Then you're saying they can point fakeness. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And in my case, they have been able to point out fake friends for me. Wow. You are blessed, Charity. You are a blessed mama. If they are able to show you this, and I'm even congratulating you for listening to them, listening about their opinions, you know, and it's good that they show you the fake friends, but it's hard when they are criticizing our behavior sometimes, questioning our behavior sometimes. It's so difficult sometimes to even deal with it, because, hey, this is a child I'm supposed to guide and form, and, you know, but it's so important, because they will learn critical thinking from you. They will learn accepting criticism from you. That's all about faith. Faith is there for us to learn. If we cannot teach them how to deal with that at home, my friends, I don't know how we are going to make it as parents in issues of faith and family. Faith and family is not just going to church on Sunday. You have your children, you wake them up in the morning, they are ready, neat and clean and ready, and then they go to church and you feel, I have accomplished, I am there. So, hey, my faith and family issue is taken care of. Not always. That's not the answer. The answer is, if it is lived and it is very comprehensive also at home, you know, it's something they can understand what's going on, you know, why is mama believing this, why is papa believing. They can question you. Let them question you about your pastor. Let them question you about your imam. Why did you preach this last Friday? Let them question you about your pastor, your prophet. Even if some of us, we fear the prophets as if they are the smaller gods, even more stronger than, you know. We don't want to question them. And if we don't question them, the children, they are not even allowed to talk about what the pastor may be doing wrong. But these children may be your eyes, even for such things. Because some of us are so caught up in believing and looking up at these people, we don't see their small mistakes they do, or bigger mistakes. And sometimes those children can be your eyes and your ears, you know? Faith and family is such, like I said, is deeper. It's deeper than just sending our children to church, or even sending our children to the mosque on Fridays, or making them pray 5 times a day. It is deeper than making the children fast. Yeah, some churches, even in our church, they are fasting right now. I let my children decide. I do not like to force any of my children to believe this or that. And I was not always like that. Ooh, my friends. Don't go talk with my children. I have learned a lot while taking care of my children. We have grown together, actually. I was the parent, and we were the parent. We tried to do it right, but I was learning. Oh, yeah, I had something here about Galaxy Ink graphics. Do you need graphic design? Okay, services. It's here in Germany even. So if you need graphic design services for all your creative design and branding needs, event posters and flyers, company files, profiles, business cards, logo designs, roll-up banners, contact +49 163 7286 573 and get help there. So as you are saying, the church is a good place, the mosque is a good place. If it's this what you have chosen for your family or wherever, I mean, there are so many other directions. I'm not going to put one on wrong or right. This one you decide. Faith and family is something that is decided personally, privately. The family, the parents, the family heads, the mother and the father are trying to guide. We are guardians. We are guardians, actually. We are like stewards for our children. We are there to practice with them how to maneuver the life on this planet. Even in issues concerning their faith, we are there as helps, as guides, you know, as helps. If you want your children to learn loving, let them learn from you. That is also faith. If you want them to learn patience, let them learn from you. That is also faith in the family. If you want them to be godly, to be holy, to be clean, physically, psychologically, say even in their soul, they will learn from you. How balanced is your faith? How balanced is your life? How are we living at home? Oh, I have learned so much. I think I have learned so much. As a parent, even more. It has humbled me a lot. You come as a hero, and if you're true a human being, you will be small, made small. You know, when you realize how much you have to learn on the journey. You know, you're not perfect. That is also one big mistake we forget. We make, and we think, no, you know, I'm the boss in this house. We are the bosses. We have the say in that family. And we forget we have been put in a school. We are learning. We have been given a responsibility, but we are also students in the process. I have learned a lot, and I thank God for that. So, and if we don't learn while we are taking care of our kids, there's no better school. Whatever else you're learning about character development, people talk of guys who are left by their girls and the other way around as the only character development. Family can give you a good, even tougher character development if you didn't know that. But it can be good for you. It can be good for me. It can be good for every one of us if we are open to that, if we are open to learn. Yeah. Charity, you're saying, but seriously, Agnes, faith going to church here in Germany must be very difficult with teenage children because of working schedules, which is right in Deutschland, and just the freedom of choice they have. It is difficult. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with, and I think that's why also I tried very hard for mine to to be going to church, and we had a rule with the father of my children that they will have to go with us to church until they're 18, and then they can decide on their own where they want to believe or what they want to believe, or if they want to go to church or not. As experienced teachers, they decided much earlier if they want to continue going or not. But when they were younger, they of course complied, because when they are younger, it's a bit different. You can form them easier. But up to age 14, 15, it becomes a bit more difficult because they are watching you. They have watched you for the last 14 years, 15 years, and they know if it's true or fake, what you're believing, what you're forcing them to to believe, what you are living as an example. And then they are watching the other Christians as well, or the other believers as well. So they're not as young. They have been formed already. It is difficult in Germany also because of the democratic system, which is okay. I don't believe you have to force your children what to believe. If at a certain point your child really doesn't want to go to church, then you have to find a solution how you deal with that. I would not tell any child, any parent, to force their children to go to church. That is, oh my goodness, that's not right. You can teach and live as an example for your children, but I don't think it's right to force them to go to church. I don't think it's right to force them to go to the mosque. I don't think. And if you do, also in this country, you'll be facing problems because you may even end up losing your children to the Jugendamt if you force them. If the children are vocal and they say it in school or they tell someone, you may even have them taken away because that is not democratic. Yeah? Yeah. So, my dears, before we make the last round, and before I conclude, because today we're making it not so long, let us make a short break, and then we'll talk about the final conclusions.
This is the one.
Aggies Live Talk Show.
The one. Only underground radio station.
This is Radio RF.
This is
Overhits. Yeah. All of Afromusic.
station with the best music. Best music.
I love music.
Oh yes, I got you, baby. I'm telling you, number one African station. For Afronews, Afrobeats, and the world hits. Here's updates happening around African countries and interviews and experiences of Africans and their friends living in Europe and all over the world. Most of you are asking, why can't we say this in Germany? I'm telling you, Europa's Nummer 1 Radio. Für Afromusic, Afropop and worldwide hits. There's actually Ereignisses in Afrikanische Ländern. Interviews an Erfahrungen von Afrikan und ihren Freunden, die in Europa auf der ganzen Welt leben.
This is your number 1 radio station.
Only underground radio station.
This is Radio RF.
This is
Overhits. Yeah. All of Afromusic.
This is the one.
Aggies Live Talk Show.
The one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the final round, and it's been exciting talking about this. As you cannot realize, it's such a deeper thing for me, and it's something that is not so easy. Faith and family is not something that is so easy, but there has been a lot of tensions in many families because maneuvering this in the family is not that easy. Some of us, because we were brought up with our traumas, we were forced maybe to go to church or to believe this and that. We try to do the same to our children. But we forget we are in diaspora, first of all. We forget we are living in completely a different community. And secondly, spiritual maturity means also that I understand it's a personal thing. You cannot decide for another human being what they need to believe. You can guide them. You can show them. You can maybe encourage them to believe. But you cannot, and you're not allowed to. I don't believe, for whatever reasons, I don't believe you have to force anybody to believe what they don't want to believe. It is not right. It's just not right. So I don't think, even if it's difficult here, I'm thankful my children still go out on their own choice. My one daughter has chosen to go to another church, not my church. My boys don't go to church, only once in a while when there are special things, and I don't force them. At their age, I think they can decide themselves if they go or not. They're not negative about belief, but they decide themselves not to wake up in the morning on Sundays and have to hurry to run and be there in time, because our church is at 10. For them, is very early. So I let them. My daughters have decided themselves. My daughter goes still, and my two daughters, like the mother and I, go also once in a while, but I leave it to them to decide. It's their own decision, really. Charity is saying, I think the Muslim family are very community oriented, but with the Christian churches, I congratulate the family that are able to hold that Holy Spirit teaching for them. I am talking from an observer's view with no young family or family for that matter. Yes, you are so right. It is not easy, and congrats to the family that makes it to do it in harmony. If everybody is really finding it good and is comfortable doing it, then it is a good thing, because of course, if you have one faith in the family, it brings a stronger unity. It brings a lot of harmony as well. You can pray together. As someone said, a family that prays together stays together, and has a lot of truth in that. Not always, it's not a must, that it has to stay together because they pray together, but it helps because it holds you together. If you read from the same holy book, if you believe in the same teachings that are there, and you can teach them to the children without them rebelling, then it's a blessing. If you can do that, do that. Faith and family is actually supposed to be that. It should be harmonic for all of you, for the children and for the wife, for the husband, for the people involved. It should not be by force. It should not be by force, by fire. It should be out of, oh, I love this. I love knowing I can pray to my God. I love knowing that I have somewhere to run to. If you have your children, have that understanding, and there's no fight in it, go for it. Brother, sister, go for it. Teach them. Let the Holy Spirit do the teaching. Even in the Muslim, whatever, let your family experience the harmony and the love that flows in your faith. Okay? Let them not always be scared when you talk of praying. They are like, oh God, help us. You know, and Pertla, you're saying here it's very hard for our children, but with faith and God by our side, it's possible. Yes, amen to that. Let them learn from you, and when they get older, they can decide for themselves. Exactly my point, and no better point to close with, actually. And again, I actually wanted also to point on the issues of financial strains in the family. Guys, before I close, on my last minute, I want to point that out. Some families have suffered because some of us, we take the freedom to use the family assets for our church, our pastor, our whatever, and then our families are suffering. The children have no clothes. We cannot achieve our goals as a family. We cannot even invest anywhere because we are bringing everything we own to the church. Guys, the faith and family should not bring such discord, should not bring such poverty spirit, should not bring such, it should not be. Whatever it is where you are believing, remember your family is the first responsibility. That is so important. And I want to close with that. Whatever you're doing in your faith, let it not be a liability to your family. Let, especially on financial thing, let your family know that your faith that you're believing in is a blessing and good for them and should not bring financial strains to the family. Please, whatever you're giving to the church, give it, no problem, or to the mosque. I don't know if they give also sadaka or offering in the mosque, but whatever you're giving, remember the first responsibility is your family. Family and faith is compatible, it can be harmonic, it can be loving and kind if we are all wise about it. And that's my closing remarks. This was Aggie's Live Talk Show on Radio R, based in Stuttgart, Germany, and I welcome you to join us again next week. Sorry that we were late, but we managed to talk about some of the things I want to talk about. God bless you so much. Thank you, Ann Pötler in Austria, and Charity here in Germany for joining us, and many others who I could not see or even talk to. God bless you so much. May God give us wisdom to deal with this issue sensitively, because it's a very deep and sensitive matter. It's more than going to the mosque or to the church. It's deeper than that. God bless us, and have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And now soon there is also the Kingdom Talk Show coming. Don't go away. Come and be blessed. All the best. Bye-bye.
99.22 FM.
Station with the best music. Best music.
I love music.
Oh yes, I got you, baby. I'm telling you, number one African station.